How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mr. 444 at y'all again with another great interview with gospel recording artist Eldest Charles Long III. He just actually came out to the radio station to introduce his new gospel CD. And I have the pleasure of speaking with him, and I did hear snippets of the album. And I must say, this is a great album. Go out there and cop it. He's out in the Jacksonville, Florida area, and it sounds great. How you doing, Mr. Long? How's everything?
I'm doing great, man. Just great. I tell you, the Lord is blessing, but I'm doing great this morning.
It's been a blessing to meet people like you, and that's in the recording industry, and that takes time and put together such beautiful music for beautiful people to listen to, and understand that the craft that they have, they want to get that out to the masses. And how did you get into recording gospel? How did you get into gospel singing?
Well, it started when I was in seventh grade. I was at in junior high school, and me and my best friend, he had a dare that I wouldn't join the choir. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take you up, and I joined Northwestern Junior High School chorus. And Mr. Verdell Jakes was the gospel. He was the director, but he was also a minister of music at one of the local churches. And that's how I started singing gospel music from seventh grade. And I realized that I actually could sing. And they put me out in Front Street right on early on. And my first song was Lord, Give Me a Clean Heart.
Lord give you a clean heart. So do you come from a background of gospel singers, or people in your background is from the church, your mom, your dad, someone in your family gave you this type of inspiration, or this was a God calling for you?
Well, I'll tell you, my whole family, the Long and the Dixons, my mom and dad, my both of them. My on the Long side, my granddad is Elder Charles Wesley Long at from Southside Church of God in Christ, and my on the Dixon side, my grandmother, them they were saved, and so bottom line is singing have come from the Dixon side, my mom's side of the family, but between the Long and the Dixons, both of them raised us up into holiness. And my grandmother used to always sing to us and take us everywhere she would take us to church even when we was little. So that's where the singing started. My aunts, uncle, they were all musicians and singers. And so our family on especially the Dixon side was a musical incline.
Let's, so have you? This is your first recording CD, your second?
This is my first one. The Lord, I retired from the city in 2015, and my desire was always to get in the studio. And so in May of 2015, I was introduced to Ken Andres as Amaze Mix Media, and I started the process
And when you
of
how
doing
did
my first CD.
and when you started the process, right? Walk me through the writing part of the process. How did it take you to collect the production, the beats, and the writing process? What was the writing process like?
Well, the writing process actually started a while back. The first song I wrote was "Can You Hear My Heart." Back in 1999, I was 39 years old, and I was in Orlando to a resort with my family, and I was going through some things, and my children were in the pool. And I sat there and I began and I just asked God. I was praying and said, Lord, can you hear my heart? You know, as men, sometimes we can't outwardly express what we're going through. But I wanted to know, God, can you hear my heart? And I immediately got up, went in the bathroom, got one of the white paper towels, got a pencil, and started writing the song, Can You Hear My Heart? And that's how it all started.
It sounds like most of your music that you speak come from passion, experience, and things
Yes.
of that nature. Because I could tell when you wrote "Can You Hear My Heart" and stuff like that. What was the process in that song? What was you feeling?
Basically, you know, as a young man, I had five married and had five children, and a lot of time responsibilities can overtake you. And you know, you trying to make ends meet, and you trying to believe God and raise a family, be a daddy, be a husband, you know, and sometimes You just need to know that somebody can hear your part, hear your heart, and hear what you're going through from the inside. Because a lot of time as a leader, you can't express your feeling towards, with others, because they'll, a man said that maybe they'll think I'm weak. But I wanted to know that day, God, can you hear what's going on in my heart?
It's funny you say that, Pastor, because some things that I be feeling in my heart, and I be passionate about it, and I be wanting to get it out to the masses. And sometimes people like you give me inspiration to tell more of my story, because some things
Right.
we have in our heart that we feel is just is opinionated. We just feel that our hearts and our thoughts are just opinionated, that was built through our mind. But sometimes we don't understand that that type of stuff can help other people move forward in life.
Right.
Understand that someone can identify with them through any type of music. Let's talk about some of the pitfalls you had. Like you said, you was married 5 times and stuff like that. Do you
No, I
think
had no married and 5 kids.
married and 5 kids, excuse me. So that means if you had 5 kids and you had so much that you was going through with those 5 kids. How was it raising 5 kids and still understanding that you wanted to get out your passion?
Well, I have some beautiful children, and the thing about it is that being young, 39 years old, you got a wife, and 5 kids, and the expense of raising children, and I was also a minister of music in the church. I was a van driver, and my thing is, I did a lot for others. But when it came to myself, it was like I would overlook what I was going through to promote and to help others be better. And as a father, my main focus was on raising, being a great father, being a good husband to my wife, yet also being a good steward and a deacon and minister of music to the church. And I was a van driver. So it was a lot, but and a lot of things that I was going through and doing. But the main focus that day was God. Through all I'm going through, can you hear what my heart, how I'm crying out to you?
Wow, wow, that's amazing, Pastor. That's something amazing that your kids would understand that. And I understand that they look at you, you sound like you're a great dad, you're a great
Ah,
hubby. You
yes.
epitomize is what a man's supposed to be today, and there's still people out there, and I thank you for that, Pastor. Let's talk about some of the tracks on the album. What's one of your favorite tracks on the album and why?
Well, the first one is the very first song is "I'm Better." Bottom line is since I gave my life to the Lord when I was 19 years old, and I'm 64 now. And the thing about it is, since out of everything I've been through, the good, the bad, the uglies, no matter what, the relationship I have with God, has always been my focal point and my strength. So when I'm weak, He makes me strong. When I can't see my way, He opens the door and He lead guide and direct me. So the first song is my testimony, is saying, God, look what you have made. I'm better because you made me, and you gave me a reason to live and a reason to go on. So that's my first song is. And the first is for some reason, well, actually, I knew it was God when I asked Him for the orders of the song. But I'm better. I'm letting everybody know, since God have come into my life, I'm better. And I'm telling God, look what you have made.
Wow, I can tell that's one of your favorite songs because you just light up. I see the smile on your face. I see the abundance of joy, and it's like you're a little. It feels like you a little kid again, and you feel
Yes,
so happy all over again, and you look rejuvenated in life and everything and stuff like that. So that's was one of the favorite tracks. Let's talk
yes.
about some other tracks. Let's tell me some of the other tracks and tell me why did you choose those other tracks.
Well, the next song is "I Believe God," and that's where my grandmother, Lily Mae Dixon, that was her one of her favorite songs, and I used to love to sing that song with her. So I redid it and put a look my own twist on it. But "I Believe God" is basically dedicated to my grandmother, Lily Mae Dixon. I thank God because even when my parents didn't take us to church, my grandmother would come and get us and take us to church. So she meant so much to us in our upbringing. And that song is dedicated to her. I believe God. And I just thank God for that one. So that one's, and then the next one is Don't Stop Praying, because he heard your cry. Don't stop praying, because the Lord is standing by. A lot of people have given up and they stopped communicating with God. But I'm here to tell you, don't stop praying, because praying is a way of communicating with God. You don't have to have them exceeded and swelling word. All you need to do is say, Lord, here am I. Lord, you hear me? And God said, yes, I hear you.
I can identify with you, Pastor, because my mother, Miss Annie Mae McFadder, she actually taught me the Bible, and that's how I learned to read. My mother's an ordained minister, so I think that a lot of callings in my life. My mother was a big, intricate part of my life, and I just like your grandmother, Miss Annie
Yes,
Mae McFadder, my mom. She actually taught me well through the Bible, and I understand how God works and how God moves in people's lives, and
yes,
I understand the intricacies of things about gospel and Christianity now through my mom because she went to school. She battled through so much with 7 kids,
mm,
able to come out of that and be able to, excuse me, 8 kids. She
yeah,
battled so much to be able to make sure that I'm be able to talk to you. And I think my
right.
mother is a great reason why is because her belief so much in God. So I know how the walks of life in God and the power of God can work in people's lives because my mother is a walking testimony.
Oh, yes, sir.
So when it
And my
comes to
mother, my mom played a vital part of my life. She was my best friend. She transitioned, to heaven throughout the project. But I thank God for her being right there, being my biggest cheerleader. And next to her is my wife. I thank God. One of the songs on the CD is "He Gave Me You," and that song is the song I wrote, and I'm in parentheses. My wife is Harriet. I put Harriet's song because we've been married. This should be 43 years, and the honey is still in the moon. And so, bottom line is, when we got married, I wrote a poem and I recited it to her, and I wrote a song and I sung it to her during our wedding back in 1982. And I took the poem and the song and combined it, me and the engineer, and we came up with "He Gave Me You."
and that's one of the tracks on the album.
Yes, number 7 on the CD.
You
So
have to.
yeah, he gave me you, and we have one of the local guitarists, Clay Benjamin from Impact Church. He was playing the acoustic guitar, so it is so pretty, and it's a love song to my wife.
You are so amazing when it comes to epitome of what you're supposed to do as a man, and I know your wife is so proud of you. And let's talk about your wife because she sounds like she's such an amazing woman.
She
And
truly is.
I'm quite sure what type of you could say what did she give you that extra about making the album? How strong was she behind you making the album? Talk about your wife and her part.
Well, I tell you what, she was a great support. She's still a great support, and she was a type person that's, honey, go do it. You can do it. She was like the president of my cheering squad, and when I would be up at night, and when I needed someone to listen, how I'm trying to get the song out and the lyrics out, and she'll listen and just be there smiling and saying, "Wait a minute, baby, try to start over again." And she was right there. I thank God. Like I said, me and her, we've been married. This should be 43 years. I tell you, God put us together. We only dated 2 weeks before I asked her to marry me, because she said, "Well, you don't know me." I said, "But I know what God is doing." It's that the Bible said, "When a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing and obtain his favor from the Lord." Well, she was my good thing, and I knew it from the beginning. And here, almost 43 years later, The honey is still in the moon. The girl still give me doodads, and I can't wait to get home. And she'll call me if I'm late, baby. Where you at? Where you at? And I thank God for her. We've successfully raised 5 children. They're all grown and gone, and so but we still enjoy each other, and we're more than best friends. We're like sisters and brothers. We love each other. We are right there, and she have my back, and I thank God for her because I don't believe I would be able to do this without her.
See, Pastor, stories like that, right? I think we need more stories like that for more of our men today because we get sidetracked and some things like that conversation you just gave me. So that's something I needed to hear. So
Right.
sometimes, because we need to know how to treat our women better, understand that we keep saying 43 years we see people together today. And we got
Yeah.
to understand I'm quite sure it was ups and downs, but one thing we
Yes,
are
sir.
learning how to understand that y'all kept it godly. Y'all
Right.
kept everything in the church. Y'all seek help. Y'all seek people. Y'all seek guidance. And your best counselor was God. And y'all both never let that go. And I
Right.
just like to hear stories like that. And I appreciate you coming on my platform,
Yes,
sharing
sir.
things like that because that just touched me. Just being able to understand that you've been 43 years and you still have that light didn't go out.
I
That's
tell you, I
that's
tell you, yeah, man. Hey, I tell you, it has been a blessing, and the thing about it is, she prays for me. We out every night. We started about some years back. We pray together every night. We pray for each other, our union, our children. And I had to preach one day at a church at a family function, and my son had to introduce me, and the thing that really out of everything he said, all my life I see my parents, I've never seen them argue at each other because my thing is I love my wife and I honor her and I make sure that my children honor their mother because and I try to be that example and I let them know that she's the queen of this house. And if you don't want to make her, you don't want to be the queen, you got to go because she's my queen, your mother, and we're all gonna respect her. And that thing touched me when he was able to say that. He said, "I've never seen my parents argue at each other." Because I loved her and I just didn't love her in church or but in home in closed doors I show her the respect that a woman and a mother deserve. And when you're raising 5 kids, we both work. And a lot of time when she get home, dinner is done. I've already cooked dinner and tell her, baby, go change your clothes. I have dinner on the table when you come. And she just like, oh, you don't have to do that. But when you honor someone who's helping you, my help me. I thank God for her. And that's why I tell God all the time, thank you for my wife. Thank you for blessing us. And he gave me you. And I tell her that. And I told her in the song.
wow. Have you did any type of performances yet? Performed this album yet?
Yes, I have. I've done the song "I'm Better." I did it at our church. I attend Word of Truth Worship Center with Apostle Yvette Williams as our pastor, and Pastor Michael Williams is our co-pastor. And I performed it there. And before the song got started, good, everybody was up in the congregation. They would that mean we jammed and we had fun. And like I said, the CD has only been out. I've not put it out on the media. I've been actually going around, and I got pastors waiting on me to come to their church. And I was like, "But we started on the 21st when we got it. When we started selling CDs, we sold over 150 in 1 month." And now and we're scheduling events and concerts and stuff for April. So I'm just looking for God to move and to bless. But I'm better is and then even on it's been on the radio. WCGL, they played it. Freddie Rose heard the song and said it's going on air today, and it did. They played "I'm Better." So that first song is my favorite. And my testimony, I'm better since the Lord have come into my life. And that's the song Like I said, we performed it at church.
I'm going to get it pushed to be played on the radio. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have it played on
Okay.
the radio. I'm going to do all my. I have some people in the radio business, and like I told you, I'm going because it sounds like that will put so just to be able to let the world hear it. Just, I
Yes.
want the world to hear it because if it could make you smile every time you talk about it,
Ah,
please, you can put millions of smiles, and somebody needs to hear that,
yes.
Pastor. You know, that's just certain things you have to get out to the masses, and I think it's something that is you because you how we met is just it was meant.
Yeah, you're right.
It was meant because I believe when I looked at you, I just seen you the way you came in. It just looked like you just walked in, and I love your tenacity, your
Yes,
inspiration. How
sir.
you just woke up and said, "I want to go to this radio station and take my CD to this radio station." And on your way to the radio station, nobody told you to come up here. You got up in your car and
Yes.
came to the radio station. It lets me know how passionate you are, and that's what I want to help. It's not about monetary. It's not about currency. It's all about anything. Money is a byproduct to me.
Right.
Anything I've learned about money, I don't need money if I do the right thing. It's byproduct. God is going to make sure I'm okay as long as I'm making sure His people is okay.
That's
I sat,
right. That's right.
I sat down with a young lady yesterday, and she said she want to make people happy. She was doing a backpack donating, and she sat down and she said she wants to make people better. She wants a
Right.
job that she could put other people on and make them smile. And what you do could alter someone's life. That song, that
Yeah.
whatever you're doing could alter someone's life, their thoughts. And I just once again appreciate you for this interview. Let's talk about the church, the pastor. What's the pastor? What church you a part of?
I'm a part of Word of Truth Worship Center, 3012 West 12th Street. Amen. Well, shout out to my Word of Truth family, the True family. And I thank God for my pastor, founder, and overseer, Apostle Yvette Williams, and Pastor Michael Williams, who's a co pastor. Pastor Williams and I, we've known each other ever since 1974. And even when we went to school, we grew up, and we was like neighbors in the same neighborhood. And we started going to church, and now she's the pastor, and I'm one of the elders at her church. So and I tell you, God have blessed, and God is blessing, and I thank God for her, because she is a woman of God that preached the unadulterated gospel. And you like say, we are, they said, we're the word of truth. And if you want to hear the truth, come to the word of truth, because I'm telling you, God is moving and blessing our young people. God is blessing. And I thank God for being there and being a part. And her and I, we talked, and she know my goal is to get to the Grammys. And she said, anything I can do to help and push you, you let me know. And I thank God for a pastor that's willing to get behind me and to push me on and support me. And I thank God for my pastor and overseer, Apostle Yvette Williams, because her heart is for the souls of God's people. And she preaches it, teaches it. During the summer, we have Camp Truth, where we have kids from the neighborhood and surrounding area, in the Paxson area and different areas. They come, and we for 6 weeks we have 8 hour class, Camp Truth, with their summer camp. And I thank God for her having a vision to reach out and to positively impact our neighborhood, city, and surrounding areas. But I thank God for Word of Truth and the Truth family.
And the word of truth, if someone wanted to go to the truth and they need to seek out help, do your church help people? Do they take in people? What do they do? Explain
Well,
about
we
your
we basically if you need help, we have vans to pick up people. We're a church that reaches out and support, and we have missions, and we like I said, we go out. We're actually going out to the street on April 19th. that Saturday we're taking the gospel to the streets where we're going to be outside in the neighborhood, um, passing out flyers and witnessing to people and helping people. When we have different support, so we're open at third. Like I said, it's 3012 West 12th Street. We have Sunday school at 9 on Sundays, and at 10:15 we have our morning worship, so our word and worship experience. I'm sorry, and I just thank God for our church.
That's great. That's great. And let me ask you, when it comes to the album, are they already on streaming platforms? How could they get it? Do you have a website for them to get the album?
Well,
Where could
right Well, right now, the only song on the CD that's on the social media platform is "We Give Glory to the Father," because it's so new, and I'm getting ready to start releasing it to the media. I went to the International Leadership Summit last a year before last, and Pastor Mike Jr. and them, and they was telling us you shouldn't put the whole CD out at once. So I'm just releasing one song every like one song a month on the social media, but I'm going from churches, different churches throughout Jacksonville, and I'm actually selling the city for $10. And I just thank God for blessing. And so far, it's everywhere I go, people have been receptive and receiving it. So I will be going around, and I'm going to get um, a podcast so that it's going to be called "Keeping It Real with Elder Charles," and bottom line, it'll be like pre saying where I'm going, the places I'll be, and I'll be promoting the city through that.
I love you to have me on that platform when you get it.
Okay.
Now, you said what's your phone number if someone wanted to reach out to you? Do you have a Facebook, Instagram, social media platform? If
Yeah.
they want to send you an inbox or something, let's talk about that. Your social media platform. How can someone reach you?
Yes, I'm just Charles Long on Facebook, and my phone number is 904-476-8437. If you need to contact me, leave a message because I get a lot of sometimes them unwanted calls from different people, the scams, and so a lot of time if you call and you need me or you want a CD, just call and leave a message, and I will return your call. But if you want, go to Facebook and just look at Charles Long, and you'll see, and you can inbox me through that on Facebook.
And would you say your podcast going to be named again once you start it?
Keeping it real with Elder C.
Keeping it real with Elder C. Well, Mr. Elder C, it was been a pleasure talking with you. It's been delightful to talk to you and everything like that. And I just thank you and I appreciate you and talking about your album. And
Yes.
I appreciate people like you. I'm glad you're your much blessings to you and your wife, your family. And I wish y'all nothing but the best. And I just want you to
Thank
continue on being who you are. Continue on treating your queen like a queen and your kids
you. Yes, sir.
treated. And I once again, like I said, I want to speak about getting your music on the radio, and I want to create a concert or something for me to have you on and
That
headline you.
sounds great.
Because you remember I talked about it, I took you in that auditorium, right?
Yes,
It's
sir.
about 300-400 people. So I think me and you gonna be able to fill that once when the month when you start getting coming out and performing, and once
Yes,
we
sir.
stay in touch, and you tell me once that starts, and I can be able to go on Eventbrite RSVP so we can understand where we at when it comes to
Well,
you.
I'll tell you what, I really feel that it won't be a problem at all, feeling it. And the thing about it is, but like this being the early stage, I'm ready. And it just God is moving and blessing. And just like you said, when we met, my wife reminded me, she said, your favorite scripture is Romans 8:28. And we know all things work together for the good of them that the love the Lord and those that are called according to his purpose. You wasn't sitting at that door for nothing. I know you was on break, but everything worked together for God, for the good of God. And you were at the door, and at the same time we came. So I really feel it was a divine connection, and we will continue to work together.
Okay, Pat, Mr. Elder Long, you have a great day. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Okay,
All right. Talk to you later.
talk to you later.
All right.